I burped. Burp.
Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, there we go. Ryan, you ain't
Hey.
shit. It wasn't my fault. Fuck you, man. Sorry.
It's true, it wasn't his fault, but damn.
I'm blaming him anyway. He always busts me out anyway.
Jesus.
We supposed to be vatos. You out here fucking me over, bro. Let me eat my Bojangles in peace, Orion. Jesus.
Hell, it'll be okay. It's okay.
We have the meat.
Right, we have. That's not even the slogan.
It's not?
Oh, now, Arby's, where your man's at? They just change it for no reason or whatever.
Absolutely.
All right.
Ryan, did you even hear any of that? I don't even think you heard any of that.
He literally just clicked the damn button.
I was, because he was in the chat, bro. He was in the chat, and I'm like, bro, when Orion's in the chat, that means he's immediately talking. It's like him and Donnie do that shit where they skulk.
Did Orion pre-stream chat?
Yeah, because you know with YouTube,
That's wild.
With YouTube, you can create the stream in advance, and they'll get notified of the stream before it goes live.
Okay, so he typed in a chat that I forget YouTube's is different. I need to start doing some YouTube lives.
I know people trying to talk to you, bro. They gotta go on a whole other platform to talk to you.
Wait, well, for OBS, can't you just change it? Can you change it from?
Yes, it's literally no different. It's just, hey, set up the stream key from get the stream key from YouTube. Boom, you're streaming on YouTube.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
Nice. Wait, what? What do you guys? I got ads. You got ads, Ryan? Oh, it sounds like you should have been a member, buddy.
Ooh, somebody.
I love the original YuYu Hakusho. What's up, Retro Death? Also, congratulations on the engagement, buddy. I said that publicly.
Congratulations! Let's go.
He told us earlier today he and his girl got engaged. No, they're not married yet. They're engaged.
But buddy got the bag.
He got the bag.
Buddy put the bag on.
Hey, man, listen, congratulations. You know how many people out here getting married nowadays?
Wait. Does she have the last name? Did she switch the last name?
Retro. Well, you heard Tara.
You don't have to. You don't have to say the last name. Obviously, I'm just asking. Did she switch the last name?
Well, I mean, technically, they're only engaged. So, I mean, technically, that hasn't happened. I don't even know that. Has that even been? Is that a conversation that happens in couples like early in? Oh, now I'm getting.
I fucking want her to switch the last name. If she's like, I'm not switching the last name, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, why?
It'd be like, bro, I want you to be the God 3. No. Can I?
Yeah, you have to be TG3.
She'd be so mad, bro. Why I gotta change that? The government's not gonna approve this. What mama put on the license? And first name TG3.
Sweetie, I really need you to make a username for me. Username for your boy.
Is her middle name the?
I don't even use the anymore. My username.
That's why it's funny. It's just funny that
I thought his name was the.
You just got the word the in the middle of your shit. Be like, what the fuck? That's my grandfather's middle name. Don't make fun of it. He was called Grandpa the Great.
He fought in the war.
Which one? Yes.
He was Grand the Pa.
We just got engaged, but I left that up to her early on, and we'll probably go. We'll probably go hyphenated, talking about everything is important. You know, I'm a co-sign on Tyra. I don't like that hyphenated shit. No. To me, you're doing too much. The fuck?
Yeah, change the last name, make it official.
I like the idea. Listen. You ain't gotta do everything traditional, but I low key want that last name. Not that to be fair, I don't ever think I'm gonna get married, but that's besides the point. If I ever got married, I would low key want that last name.
What if somebody's like, I don't have to. She has the same last name. Wait, what?
I'm like, buddy, I think you might. Did you do a DNA test before?
I'm gonna need y'all to, when y'all go to the family reunion, I need y'all to say hi to everybody. If anybody recognizes her.
What's that video I showed you a while ago that was like, it's like, man, that was great. Yeah, that was great too. But I gotta go, man. Yeah, I got this like family cookout.
Family reunion, yeah.
It's like, oh really? Where's it at? Bryanton Park.
Oh God!
You know, cousin Alice. Oh, and my grandmother, great granny Susan. Oh, and then they start laughing. I was like, "Well, I gotta go." And then one starts sneaking out the window. The other one tries to kill themselves. It's like, oh,
I saw that one. I remember that.
What is worse? What is worse? Having
Wild.
what is worse? Incest with your cousin or incest with like an aunt?
Your cousin.
Why?
No, your aunt. It's worse with your aunt.
Why?
It's closer because that's like your mother's sister. It's less diluted DNA.
Oh, but if you did it with the cousin, it's more diluted.
Cousin is more diluted, yeah, because there's somebody else in there.
I like the idea that the aunt.
Why are we talking about that? I just thought about that. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Stupid.
Wait a minute.
This is the same picture I used, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked at your thing. You used the exact same picture I'm using right now on Twitch.
It's funny because your notifications hit my phone all at once. I'm like, Tyrone. I'm like, oh, hey, I know. So it's like I'm talking to you.
Right.
And Twitch is like, hey, you know Tyrone? I know he's streaming. Tyrone's streaming. I know. Shit. And the Tyrone's like, you know I'm streaming. I know. Yeah, I know.
Well, Games, to answer your question, which is literally why are we talking about this? We're just buying time for the people to come in, by the way. So we were engaging.
Oh, that's what we're doing? I was just having a conversation. I'm gonna be real.
James said, do you like Total Drama Island? I like Total Drama Island, Total Drama Action, Total Drama World Tour, and then I stopped watching after that.
Why do you think people defended Kirito and Suguna? Oh, you're talking about in Sword Art Online, the cousin thing? Yeah, but Kirito was already with another girl anyway. He was with Asuna, so that wasn't even going to go anywhere. That was
right,
that was unrequited incest, okay?
Unfortunately, the writer of Sword Art Online decided to go all in on marrying Kirito at the beginning, but still wants the luxury of giving him a harem. And I'm like, I don't know how that works.
Especially when one of the girls in his harem is his unofficial daughter. You know, that's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, that's right. the Kirito Kira hoes.
Yeah, I don't...
The Kira hoes are hilarious.
Sword Art Online is always...
That Kira hoe he got from the Gun Gale Online?
Oh, the blue-haired chick?
The one that's afraid of shooting people, but is the best shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically enough,
I did not know you were caught up enough to Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online came out. Sword Art Online was like the first and last real isekai I paid attention to, and as a result, that means Sword Art Online is two things. It's fucking trash, but it's also like the best of its genre. What
the fuck?
It's like
you're right, but I'm not prepared to research why you're wrong. So
it's because. When I say that, it's because isekai as a whole is a very, like, people talk about how the harem genre is like diluted. Bruh, the isekai genre is diluted as fuck. Like, beyond I think it's now become the most diluted genre in anime.
That time I got reincarnated as a piece of snot.
Yeah, what was it? As a vending machine, as a spider, as a hero who was fired by the Demon King, as a hero who was hired by the Demon King, as a hero who enslaved the Demon King 2 weeks before the story started. Like, good God. Fucking, these guys have like the worst titles, dog. I don't even understand. But we are here to talk about YuYu Hakusho. So let's be fair here.
I mean, technically, YuYu Hakusho is that time I got reincarnated and became a spirit detective.
Yeah, but we don't call it isekai because it's still in the same universe.
Yeah, it's still in the same world. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that time I got resurrected as a spirit detective.
Yeah, we leave that alone. So the way we watch YuYu Hakusho, just to give context, is we didn't get to go through all of it at once. We watched the first 2 episodes one night, and then I think the next night we watched the other 3. And
that's when we were told shit was about to change for it.
Now the squad in my server already told me, like, Orion, Donnie, y'all were like, no, but I think it was Donnie who mainly was like,
yeah, Dill Pickle, this came out already.
Yeah, this came out in December.
It's on Netflix.
All of it's on Netflix. We're not calling it YuYu Hakusho. It's called YuYu Hakusho. What the fuck? Orion, you just want to come up with a bootleg name for it. That's what that sounds like. But so we've seen all 5 episodes.
Right.
I think we're gonna start with the verdict, and then how we got to that verdict will be the rest of the stream. So the verdict for me is arguably I arguably like it more than the One Piece live action. Not by a crazy amount, but by a decent amount. Particularly, I think partially is thanks to Tyrone. Tyrone kind of because I had forgotten a decent chunk of you. Like with One Piece, I remember every little thing. Plus, I was rewatching it with Nessa, so like all the little intricate details I remember. I didn't remember all the details until Tyrone started mentioning stuff throughout like the episodes, things that I didn't realize. I will give the live action one. I think it has better action than the One Piece live action. I think it ties in its plots, even though it's not the right way. It ties it in better with other plots than I would say the original does. And then I think it just better all. I think it. I don't. It's hard to say it closely resembles its source material because neither of them do. But I would say I had an overall better experience with it. Whereas I was low-key angry like throughout the majority of the One Piece live action. So I do like it more than the One Piece live action, but that's not saying a lot because the reality is it suffers the same problem as the One Piece live action in the sense that you try to do too much too quick. Although it's funny because Yu Yu Hakusho I think is way more egregious. Like, you literally just skipped.
It was a lot more condensed. It's a lot more condensed.
They skip more content in Yu Yu Hakusho as well. They skip like a whole. Go ahead.
I think they made up for that by putting like. I won't say they made up for it completely, but Yu Yu Hakusho's live action is more condensed. But what they decided to do in its favor was make up for it with the choreography and the spirit. No pun intended.
I feel like it was a little intended.
Right, like One Piece almost. No offense to One Piece, but it felt like it was almost afraid to do fight scenes for a while. Whereas Yu Yu Hakusho, they were like, oh, we scrapping. Like, we'll scrap.
And that's just because Yu Yu Hakusho is easier to do. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho is a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho boils down to boxing and occasional special moves. Whereas One Piece, like Luffy's fights are all ridiculous. Stretch the arm out, switching to a stretching punch, going to stretching Gatling, and every time he stretches, that budget drops by like $3,000, $6,000, $10,000, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Whereas like a whole Yu Yu Hakusho fight's like maybe a couple grand.
But and that's because Yusuke realistically barely has any special moves. He's got Spirit Gun, Spirit Wave, Spirit Shotgun, and Spirit Aura. That's about it. And half of those moves are the same damn move. Like
Exactly.
Like Yusuke was not a flashy character. Yusuke as a fighter was a fighter. Like his whole deal is I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. That's my plan. I don't have these fancy moves and these fancy crazy stretching powers or flying powers. It's boxing. It's if I don't shoot you with this gun, then we box it. The others, they had the flashy moves, but I think that was the point. Like, they're the ones that were more exquisite. Hiei is more or less supposed to be like a parody of other shonen anime characters. He's got the sword, he's got the dragon, all of that, and then Kuwabara is basically, here's who the real main character should be if it wasn't Yusuke. Because Kuwabara is a lot like Zell from Final Fantasy VIII, who he takes on all of the like Cloud Strife / shonen protagonist type of situation. Yusuke, on the other hand, is a delinquent that just doesn't give a shit.
Which is what makes him refreshing as a character.
Oh, definitely, because Yusuke's whole deal is he's not gonna be this goody two shoes that like brings together the power of friendship. He's not gonna like laugh or have all these like comedic moments on purpose. He usually, if he gets a laugh out of something, it's usually out of somebody else's demise. Because he's an asshole.
He's an asshole, but I wouldn't call him evil.
He's a lovable asshole, yeah.
The idea is that he is a generally good person, but he's not gonna like change for nobody.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, yeah.
So, I think if we're gonna address this, I guess we need to start with the four characters.
You said you were gonna get the verdict.
Well, my verdict is probably I'm putting it. I think I get the One Piece one like a 5 or some shit. So this probably gets like a 6.
I'll give it a 6.5. I
mean, you can explain yours as I explain mine.
Okay, so for me, Yu Yu Hakusho has too many noticeable arcs to reasonably skip. I get it. I get why they skipped them, and I'll give them this. They did a really good job of transitioning them together. But unfortunately, Yu Yu Hakusho skipping like the four demon kings arc, well, the four demons arc, basically the demons arc where they go into the castle and fight the four demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, skipping that arc, skipping Rando, the arc that was the arc before that. Skipping Rando, that's bad. Skipping the dark tournament alone. They tried to do the dark tournament, but it's janky. So instead of making a whole tournament, it was a in competition like betting match between Yusuke's team and the demons, which does not. They did that anyway. They did that in the Zucchina retrieval arc. Yeah, they did that in the Yukina retrieval arc.
That's what I think they really did. They slammed the dark tournament with Yukina's retrieval arc. I think that's really.
Yeah, they glued the two together. But unfortunately, that kind of outs Hiei because he gets the worst development out of this entire.
You mean none? You mean none? Like literally, when we get Team Urameshi, we have just got to meet Hiei. Like Yusuke and Hiei are just now interacting.
They're like in mid-fight, and they get torn from their fight to go straight to basically the Yukina / Dark Tournament arc.
Yeah, so like it's barely Team Urameshi. Like they just met. But that's the problem that happens when you skip. What I think technically this thing it's supposedly covering the beginning arc. Right. It doesn't technically cover the Demon King stuff, but I guess you have to include it because it skips it. Then you got the Genkai training / arc, which I'll just throw as a thing because it happens multiple times throughout these arcs. The Yukina stuff, and then the Dark Tournament. So
they tried to make this like a large. If you were to relate this to anything, they tried to make it like a martial arts movie, a really long martial arts movie. That's essentially what it is. It's a long ass. If you've ever watched your old school martial arts movies, that's exactly what this is. Martial arts movies. The plot was whatever, but the fights were the appeal. The fights were supposed to be the thing that tell the story. And the live action does a good job with the fights. Hell, the fight Yusuke does with the parasitic demon, that one's a really good fight. Debatably a better fight than what actually happened. Because the fight in that one ended with Yusuke just sort of socking him. And it's about over. Here, they had like a whole thing, like this part of the city caught on fire. They're having a huge like blowback. They're fighting each other in the streets. They're like, it's a big deal. And then Yusuke's fight with Goki was really good. That's the first demon. The out of the Hiei, Kurama, and him, he was the third demon, the one that was stealing the kids' souls. That's a good, better. I will say that fight's better here than in the anime, because in the anime, Goki's beating the shit out of Yusuke for pretty much the fight until Yusuke's able to use Spirit Gun again.
Right.
So he's able to win that one, but here Yusuke pretty much struggles through most of the fight until he like shoves that thing in his mouth and then launches the Spirit Gun in point blank. Which everything leading up to that is good. So yeah, I'll give it a 6.5. The fights and the characterization are accurate, or at least, or in some cases better. But skipping all those arcs hurts its score by like a lot.
So the way we can approach this is either go episode by episode, which is kind of dangerous because arguably there are changes in every fucking episode. Yeah. But some changes are more offensive than others. The other way we can handle this is going by character, because I would say the main 3 or 5 you need to concern yourself with is Team Urameshi, Botan, Koima, and then probably...
Yeah, Static just brought up a good point. They didn't even bring in Hiei's Jigan Eye.
No. Hiei of the squad... If we're talking about Team Urameshi, I guess that... You know what? We'll start there. Out of Team Urameshi, who gets screwed the most?
Hiei gets screwed the most.
I think objectively Hiei gets screwed the most, although I low-key put Kurobara a little bit right behind him. And mainly because Kurobara gets...
I think they did Kuwabara decent enough until the butt end.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with him. He gets hoed probably in the I want to say the last or second to last episode, because they essentially turn him into a joke and have him like do the whole thing with Yukina and Keiko. Now Kuwabara is my favorite character, so it bothered me a lot. I think the ones that get the most right is probably Yusuke. Kurama, I think, is fine. The problem is they have to like slam his Yoko Kurama stuff, and there's no struggle between it because
if you don't know, Yoko Kurama's a big deal for Kurama if you watch the original, because he didn't want to be a demon. He casted the demon life aside. The reason that he's fighting so hard for his mother, because his mother is the one connection he has to Earth, to being a human. He's able to live his human life because of his mother. That's why he went so hard in order to make sure she didn't die. That's why he stole the mirror. It's the whole reason why he worked with other demons. He did all of that not because he's bad. He did that because he wanted to save his mother, and the only chance he's got to live a normal fucking life. When he was Yoko, he didn't get to live that life. So yeah, skipping it just feels like a Super Saiyan transformation now, or not even a Super Saiyan. Yeah, it just feels like
he used an iPad instead of the mirror.
Yeah, it feels like a generic Super Saiyan transformation. I'll say that because Super Saiyan's got its own level of lore.
The problem is because it's introduced at the end of the 5 episodes, it's not treated. The problem is, and I'll say this as an overarching issue between this and the One Piece live action, they're both shows that understand the property well enough to do certain things that are inherently smart.
Right.
But it's obvious that this isn't even made for fans. It's kind of crazy to me because that's literally how I feel about it. I feel like these two were made for casuals to watch them and be interested enough to go watch the anime. Now, the argument I'll make for One Piece is that One Piece at least has way more of a common, like, people will talk about One Piece now like it's like a normal show, right?
Right.
So it's in the public's eye enough to be like, oh, One Piece. I've heard about that. YuYu Hakusho was old as sin. And because it's old, that also means that not as many people know or talk about it. So some people...
One Piece is still going.
That's the other thing. One Piece is still going. So what irks me is that to have this be your first showing of YuYu Hakusho is the question. Now I'm going to go back and watch this old anime from, what is it? YuYu Hakusho is from what, the 90s?
YuYu Hakusho was in, I want to say 1998.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
So the problem is, I'm afraid what's going to happen is people are going to...
Oh, no. YuYu Hakusho was literally it was literally a month before I was born. It was October 10th, 1992. But we didn't get in America until years later. So,
but the point I'm making is, and CDO brings it up, adaptations don't need to cater to fans. Fans will watch it even if it's bad. They are trying to tap into the casual market. I guess my problem is, though, One Piece has enough of a casual and a hardcore fan base that will all come look at it, right? Yu Hakusho has a mainly old school fan base that fucks with it, okay? New anime fans don't ever talk about getting into Yu Hakusho at all. And my problem is, knowing that, the reason why I think this is the reason why One Piece gets more praise than Yu Yu Hakusho, even though I argue that they're...
In America, we didn't get Yu Yu Hakusho in America till 2002.
Yeah, but it'd already been out for like a decade.
Yeah, it'd been out for... Yeah, the same thing Dragon Ball Z went through. Yeah.
Yeah, because it came out in 93, as everyone's telling me on mine. But yeah, like the problem is that only hardcore fans will watch the Yu Yu Hakusho live action adaptation.
Yeah, we're both right. It premiered in Japan on October 10th of 1992. But in 1994, in December 17th, on Fuji TV in Japan.
Gotcha.
So it didn't make it to Fuji TV until like 2 years after the fact.
But the problem is that because only mostly hardcore fans would want to watch the Yu Yu Hakusho live action, what did we end up getting? We ended up getting a bunch of hardcore fans being disappointed at how they rushed and kind of fucked with one of the most popular mangas of its generation.
Absolutely.
It's a problem. But if we're gonna address this properly, so let's talk about the first thing, which would be the first 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes are the 2 episodes I think everyone and their mom agrees are good episodes, even with the changes that they made.
Yes.
The question is that 100% true, or is that more so we were just so impressed by how they were handling things so far.
I think it's the latter. We were impressed how they were. I think we were impressed how they were handling. I think the issue literally comes in when you tell me, "Oh, there's only 3 more episodes after this." Like immediately when I found out that was 5 episodes, and they put all this focus into the first 2 episodes, I'm like, this is lining up almost like the show. But then you tell me there's only 3 episodes left, and I'm like, I know YuYu Hakusho. I know how many episodes are in YuYu Hakusho. There is no way in hell you mean to tell me there's only 3 episodes left. As opposed to what? 3 episodes until like the 3 demons arc is over? 3 episodes left until Yusuke's like revival arc is over? How many episodes?
Yeah, I'm always going to make the argument that these live action adaptations suffer for one problem, and the biggest problem, I think.
YuYu Hakusho has 112 episodes. So you mean to tell me y'all wrapping that shit up in 5?
And when does the Dark Tournament end? Doesn't it end around like the 50s or 60s?
Dark Tournament, I want to say. Give me a second.
I think it's like 50 something or 60 something.
The Dark Tournament episodes are episodes 52 to... Wait, hold up. Those are chapters.
Oh, Apex said a 66.
Yeah, 60. It's 26 to 66. That's 40 episodes.
That you essentially skipped.
The tournament was 40 fucking episodes,
which they skipped the majority of.
And whenever you ask, when you ask about 95, no, that's too high. I'd say 80-something% of YuYu Hakusho fans, what is your favorite arc in YuYu Hakusho? Almost unanimously, everybody says the Dark Tournament saga. Like that is the saga in YuYu Hakusho. Well, one, tournaments were already starting to get big in anime. Like that was just, you got Dragon Ball to thank for that. And then 2, the Dark Tournament pretty much changed these characters. Like they do not leave this arc the same way they went into it.
Right.
But that's why the other arcs are so important. The 3 Demons arc with Kurama, Hiei, and Goki, that's important because we realized that, some of those enemies can turn into friends. Then we realize afterwards, the Rando arc is important because, like, it helps Kuwabara and Yusuke get better. So we get our development for Yusuke and Kuwabara. And then after that, we get them all 4 together to fight the 4 demons in the castle arc. Then once you got that, you got your Yukina arc, which brings them all together again. But they fail because Toguro beats the shit out of them. Then you get your Dark Tournament arc, and by the time they leave, Kurama's unlocked Yoko, Kuwabara's sword gets an upgrade, Hiei learns the Dragon of the Darkness flame technique, and Yusuke's got the Spirit Orb, respectfully. Not just their powers, their characters have gotten better at this point. And to rip all of that out and put it into 5 episodes makes you especially disappointed because the first 2 episodes are doing a good job with character portrayal. But realistically, if you play YuYu Hakusho, and I'll let you go into it, my bad. If you let these characters... If you put these characters into any other show, it's not the show, it's the characters. They're the most important. That's why Yu Yu Hakusho became popular in the first place, because it's the cast.
Right.
So, yeah, so when you got Hiei getting hoed and Kuwabara getting hoed, it hurts the cast. It hurts the Team Urameshi. But go ahead.
I think the biggest problem this thing suffers, and I think a lot of these, even I would argue that it was the same problem for Cowboy Bebop, and it was the same problem for One Piece. For what you want to do, you don't have the budget for.
Absolutely.
Now, One Piece, it showed in the sets and design and that shit. Here, it just seems like you just didn't want to spend the money. Because realistically, the Demons arc, why did that get skipped? Well, if I remember correctly, doesn't that take place in a demified area where you had to go through like these towers and shit? And they had like I just think that was too much for them to animate.
They didn't have the budget.
A lot of this has become money issues. But at my point, I'm like, no, then don't try to do so much in like one season. Think about it. For Yu Yu Hakusho, you went through one of their most iconic arcs, if not the most iconic arc in the series, in 5 episodes. On top of introducing these characters. Why? Why couldn't you just do 5 episodes covering maybe the first couple arcs? Maybe end it with the whole maybe end it with teasing the 3 Demons arc or whatever the fuck. Like
and it kills character interactions because Genkai is in this. And if we're talking about characters that got hold the most, we're talking about, we got to talk about Genkai. She gets hold destructively.
Yeah. She, go ahead.
The reason that Yusuke had such a hard time with his training with Genkai is because Genkai realistically thought Yusuke wasn't shit. He had to prove her wrong. Like, Genkai and Yusuke's relationship was so much like this old grandma that hates her grandson. And but they're not actually grandparents.
But they act like family.
They acted like family. Yusuke literally calls her grandma.
Yeah.
But their whole relationship was, you ain't shit. Prove me wrong. And Yusuke's like, okay, bet, I will prove you wrong. But she pushed him that hard so that he can get better. We don't get any of that for real because Genkai doesn't know Yusuke like that. Not really.
No.
But in the Genkai tournament arc, Genkai learned who Yusuke was. And then during the trainings with Genkai, Genkai repeatedly told Yusuke he wasn't shit until he proved her wrong. So we got that relationship. We even got Yusuke arguing with Genkai about Toguro and stuff before the Dark Tournament arc happened. We lose all of that instantly. Now it's just some random old lady training Yusuke saying that he ain't shit. And then afterwards going off to fight Toguro and then die off screen.
It's one of those things that the show has a lot of love for the material it's adapting, but the show loses a lot of heart because you don't have a lot of build up for all these iconic moments that you want to do. You want to do this crazy fucking have Yusuke blow open like 100% Toguro, but it's so rushed and it's so out of nowhere that you're like, wait a minute, why? You tell me he went from 0 to 100 just because a motherfucker almost died and then that was it? Like, it's so hell bent on being like, here's the iconic scene here. Here's another iconic scene. Here's another iconic scene. Here's another iconic scene that you're like, well, what about the character development? What about the build-up? What about the struggle? Motherfuckers don't understand why we like shonen. I like shonen for the struggle. The struggle matters because you relate to the struggle. It's like working out. It's like being able to go from benching like, I don't know, 140 to like 250, right? If you just show me a quick montage that lasts 5 minutes and then all of a sudden I can bench 250, that's cool, whatever. But it's even cooler if I get like 4 episodes of you like working through the pain and we get to see you struggle. We get to see you falter. We get to see you be like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go in today. I don't need to go in the gym. And then you go through all that and then you're finally able to bench 250. That shit gets you hyped. That shit you can relate to. There's a reason why you have shows that are 26 episodes, 54 episodes, 112, 118 episodes, because that build-up matters. And the problem with these live action adaptations is that you're more concerned about the big moment than you are about the build-up to accomplish that moment. And that's what kind of pisses me off when it comes to some of these things. On top of the fact, I'm just be real, as a Core fan, I'm gonna just go off on this for a second. Bro, if you're gonna give Hiei his fight, you're gonna give Kurama his fight, and you kind of muddy Yusuke's a bit because although it is his fight, he essentially has to get help. Like, that's whatever. Well, why is it that Kurobawa couldn't get his proper fight with Elder Toguro? Like, you had to do this weird thing that because Kurobawa is the comedy character, he ain't shit. He can't box. He can't fight Elder Toguro. You couldn't even have this motherfucker getting impaled. And the problem is they combined it with him meeting Yukina. So, like, we gotta do the, oh my god, Yukina, while also, like, him, like, being scared and hoed. And see, that made sense in the context of the show because this is his first time fighting a real demon. But I'm like, bro, my man Kuwabara gets, considering where Kuwabara will be in Chapter Black, I'm like, bro, why do this shit? But you do it because you don't have enough time. And you still need these characters to get to a certain area. We still have to have Kuwabara like lead into the room with Toguro and shit. On top of the fact that the tournament doesn't even take place in Demon World. We're calling it the Dark Tournament. It's not even the Dark Tournament in the show. What it really is a rescue arc for Keiko and Yukina that happens to have characters from the later arc Dark Tournament. Which is why we don't get...
I don't even know why Keiko's in it. The show never explains it.
Well,
she's kidnapped and then put there because fuck it.
I guess because they know about Yusuke was the whole thing.
Yeah, but he was already headed there any fucking way. Who cares?
But they didn't know that.
Well, now it just sticks out like a sore thumb. There's some things that, like, I don't know. I felt like that one. Weirdly, Keiko got more development out of it, though. Keiko was making Kuwabara look bad for some of those scenes. That's how bad it was.
But how do you feel about how Keiko was portrayed overall?
Weirdly, and I'm weirdly impressed by her usefulness in this arc. But I think she's Yusuke's girl. I get why.
I think it bothers me because she's not really Keiko for a bit, in my opinion. She's just she's kind of just generic love interest.
Yeah.
Considering how Keiko is a very feisty woman, like a very,
absolutely.
And I don't think that's really portrayed until she gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
She's kind of just there. We probably should bring up Botan in that way too.
Oh God.
Botan is very diluted.
Anime porn Botan. Let's go.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, hey, it's a cute woman, and then it's like, are you gonna be anything like your character? No.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, we also got to talk about Koema. Who the fuck is that?
I mean, it's okay. It's Koemba. The issue is he's not in his baby form.
He's also an asshole a lot throughout this for no reason.
He is very strict. He's extremely
and it's kind of out of character. Not saying he wasn't strict before, but
he had a joking personality to it.
Yeah, the idea is that when he became an adult, the seriousness went up.
Yes.
But like that had to be juxtaposed with him being a child 90% of the time. But we don't have that. We don't have the child part.
Right.
So all we get is this adult Koema who just seems kind of weird and kind of weirdly mean to Yusuke.
You want to know what I think it is? They did not put Yema in there or King Emma. Because that's Koemba's dad.
Yeah.
And he's the one that made the shots. He's the one that called all the shots. I think the joke was that he never appeared too. He never showed his face.
Yeah.
But it was the fear of him that would put Koemba into like this, oh crap, we got shit we gotta do. That Yusuke, get it together right now.
I'm getting in trouble.
Or I'm getting my ass whooped, essentially. Yeah. So it was that fear that made Koemba like who he was. Whereas here, I think they tried really hard to make Koemba the boss, like just the boss by himself.
Yeah.
So now we end up with these awkward Koemba being very strict moments. Yeah. And Botan, I mean, Botan used to have this level of like feisty to her too. Botan was always this deal. But it was actually funny. Most of the female characters in Yu Yu Hakusho will probably beat your ass if you said anything weird to them.
Yeah, the only character I think who's actually
Yukina.
like... Yeah, Yukina was like the exception. But it worked out because Kuwabara was such a brash dickhead.
Right. Yusuke's mom was an alcoholic that talked shit. God, don't even get me started on Yusuke's mom in this series. Jesus Christ.
Or even Kuwabara's sister.
Yeah, talk about 180. Oh, yeah. They completely took her ass out. I forgot.
Yeah.
And once she started learning like more of the spirit stuff, she didn't play. She didn't play that.
She never did.
Like, fuck it. Yeah, she would have a cigarette in one hand and be like, all right, get your ass out. Let's go.
Let me see something.
Yeah, they had a lot of... They found a way to make some very strong women without having to show them off as strong women. Here, I think they went more for the traditional route, but they went too traditional because it's out of character for some of these characters. Botan had a motherly like situation where she cared about Yusuke and was cutesy, but she also knew like, Yusuke, you ain't shit for real, ain't you? Like, so you just gonna sit on this rooftop all damn day? Yep.
Yeah, like
your ass up.
She wasn't above fucking with him if it got him to move.
Absolutely. Well, at first she was cutesy, but once she got to learn Yusuke enough, she was like, oh, he ain't shit. Okay, Koemba just chose you out of the blue, huh? That was her attitude, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then she would spite Yusuke on purpose just to get a kick out of that. And Yusuke be like, do I have to work? Yep, you sure do.
But see how it worked.
Yeah, the relationship was great.
Those are the women that seem to work better with Yusuke anyway.
Right. Yeah, so there's a lot of I think they focus too hard on making the main cast accurate.
And
And they
the problem
ruined
is,
sadly they're only 3 for 4. Go ahead.
Yeah, personality wise, they're like 3 for 4. He doesn't get enough time. He doesn't get enough. We don't even get to really see any of this. I think it bothers people. He fans the most because he has to grind for a lot of his powers.
He also has to grind for a lot of his development. He states it several times. Yusuke, I hate you. The moment this is over, we scrap it. He's Piccolo / Vegeta.
Yeah.
He's the Piccolo / Vegeta in this situation. Here, we don't get that. He has to literally just abandon all of that. Because at first, Hiei did whatever he wanted. Yusuke is the only one that stopped him. And when he lost their fight, Hiei took it personally. Because he hated humans. But that goes into shit that happened with him and Yukina.
That we never learn about.
Here we just get Yusuke and Hiei fight. Oh, stop your fight. We have to work together. Why? Because your sister and your girlfriend are kidnapped. Okay, fine. I guess we're working together immediately. And we're going to barely talk to each other except when we have to fight.
Exactly.
But yeah, hell, even in the Dark Tournament, like when the Dark Tournament started, Hiei's like, don't get it twisted, Yusuke. I'm on your team. But the moment this is over, we boxing. Like, and then at the end of the tournament, he's like, whatever. I'm not boxing with you anymore.
He's like, fuck it. You got hands and we're good.
Yeah, you beat Tagoro. I'm not ready to deal with that right now.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm tired. But that's literally but that was a good relationship. And he has a relationship with Kuwabara, which I will give him the live action did do it. They did it.
Yeah.
It's at the butt fucking end, but they did it. They did do it.
The problem is that they combine it with gathering the characters at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is actually it's the same problem I have with One Piece, where you slam these characters together while also introducing them at the same time.
Right.
So what you end up having is a situation where here's a new character, oh, here's their art. Here's the new character, oh, here's their art. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just like, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, we gotta go save the world. Like, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute, I just met you. And this is crazy. But the point I'm making is it creates a situation where I don't get enough time to enjoy the character because we're immediately shifting to something else. It's like, all right, we did Kurama scene. Time to go meet Hiei. And you're like, wait a minute, I just met we're done with this. Hiei. All right, now Tagoro. Like, what the fuck is going on? Now, on a positive note, I think objectively we had to acknowledge the choreography throughout this whole thing is consistently good. Consistently good.
And it's not just, make the characters fight really fast, too. Like, Hiei's opponent, debatably, is really, like, he's got a huge, heavy-ass axe. And it still looks good. The characters move organically.
Yeah. I think because they're all still based in human design. So, like, you didn't have to do it. Like, even Tagoro's, like, slightly pumped up form. I think it's, like, what is it, 30% or something?
Yeah.
That one looks perfectly fine. I'm not a huge fan of how they... I know what they were going for his, like, 100% form. I don't think you were going to make that look good in live action. Like...
Right.
But I would say most of the effects work well. Even the effect they did where Elder Tagoro is explaining, like, Genkai and Tagoro's past. Like, all that's done exceedingly well. All the special effects, and especially the choreography for fight scenes, are done insanely well. I would openly say that it has had the best adaptation of, like, fights that I've seen of the live action shows that I've seen. But you couldn't just fucking, just listen, if you only got enough of a budget to do 5 episodes, don't throw the major arc into 5 episodes with the introduction of the characters.
I think episode 5 was literally just fights, wasn't it? Just fights left and right.
Yeah. I think it was all their fights.
Yeah, literally every fight.
To the point where I was like, damn, we only got 20 minutes left. Like, where the fuck is Yusuke's fight at?
It's so weird the accuracy they decide to take on some things and then the inaccuracy on others.
That's why I give it credit.
Like you said, Kuwabara's fight is the only one that gets really weird and hoed. But Kurama and Hiei's fights end the exact same way they ended in the anime. Hiei uses black Dragon of the Darkness Flame. Kurama plants the Death Eater's plant inside of what's his name? Inside of the dude. Like, those are the exact same ways they ended, point per point. Like, literally, it's the exact same way. So it confuses me why they decided to take Kuwabara's stance and go, we're gonna change that.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't understand, considering it, which is weird
it's because Kuwabara is fighting younger Toguro. Like, wait, what's the point?
Well, and then the kicker is that they still do the thing where he learns how to use the sword without the sheath. Yeah, without the sheath, and I'm like, wait a minute,
piece of wood. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, so you remember that, but you couldn't remember that they had a whole. Remember, he ends it with the damn fly swatter. The fly swatter. The whole, if I can't, because he kept moving his organs around, so you could never just straight kill him. Like, slashing him wouldn't work. You would actually have to, like, destroy his whole body. Which, by the way, it didn't even work anyway, because he still lived after that. But for the context of the fight, which is why I was like, we know that Elder Toguro, even though he loses that fight, he doesn't lose entirely. Why not let him get his ability? Was it the fact, especially considering you gave Hiei all of his moves. You gave him the eye, you gave him the Dragon, the Darkness Flame. Why couldn't Kuwabara get his sword and the fly swatter? No, you gave Yoko Kurama, so what the fuck? And now Yusuke is absurdly strong after one little event.
And yeah, the spirit, I am so pissed at the spirit orb.
Oh, Pooh gets screwed so bad.
Yeah, I am so pissed at the spirit orb thing, because that pretty much made that was Yusuke's rite of passage. That piece of training is his rite of passage. For those of y'all who don't know, the spirit orb is pretty much all of Genkai's spirit energy condensed into one over years. Transferring it is easy. Taking it into your body is the hard part, because now your body's expected to take on years worth of vigorous training and spirit control, all within a matter of hours, days. Yusuke was in that cave for I want to say 3 days. In fact, I think they had to sub Yusuke out for somebody because he was training for so damn long. That's why.
Wasn't that Koema?
Yeah. So then, while that's happening, Yusuke's literally he's just in the original Deku, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
This dude's in pain, and because Yusuke's spirit animal Pooh feels pain when Yusuke feels pain, this thing was about to die, and Yusuke had to sit there, and he's crying, by the way. And he's watching as his spirit animal is dying because he's not good enough to handle the amount of power that's in his body right now. So right before it dies, Yusuke just sort of says, fuck it, bites his teeth, and pretty much grits it out. And then takes control of the spirit orb. That is his rite of passage. It's his defining moment. So to see Genkai just give him the spirit orb in the live action, and he just has the power now. And he has to unlock it when he truly feels that. No, it's not Super Saiyan. Stop it. Yeah, I'm sorry. They handled that piss poorly. Getting rid of Pooh was already a problem too, because Pooh was built up from literally the beginning of the show.
Yes, the egg.
Yeah, he gets the spirit egg at the beginning of the damn show. When he says Pooh from those rocks, it was, I put that in the comments too, in the Twitter comments. I put the cameraman and the guy's just tearing up because it was such a good scene. And I'm like, you skipped that. You skipped that. Like skipping that's a big deal. That is Yusuke's moment, because Yusuke's always felt he was strong, but he never felt he was strong enough. He always would be like, okay, I'm strong, but I'm about as strong as I need to be right now. He was always contempt. That's why Keiko got on his ass, is because he could be so much more. He's chosen not to.
He showed him mediocrity.
Pretty much, yeah. He's like, okay, I can be Kuwabara. I'm the biggest boss in this school, so who gives a shit?
Exactly.
But yeah, that I think the more I look into it, sadly, the more upset I get. And that's the problem. In the moment, this is a good live action because it has good choreography And do you want to get into this, or do you want me to talk about it?
What?
The cast. The not the cast as in the characters. I mean the cast as in the people. The real live breathing people playing the characters. Yeah, I think we can say this both unanimously for both YuYu Hakusho and One Piece. Their cast is devoted.
Yeah.
They have
The one thing that helps these two live action series is that the people who are acting as these characters fuck with the show heavy. One Piece's live action cast openly acknowledge like what they're getting into. And half of the reason why I think this shit comes out as well as it does is because the people who are acting these characters give a shit, like immensely. Yeah. My problem isn't even them. My problem is my problem's not even with it being 5 or 8 or 10 episodes. It's how much you wanted to adapt in those 8 episodes or 5 episodes. Bro, if you were like, shit, we only got a budget for 5 episodes, can we at least do the beginning stuff and at least set up Team Urameshi before like the 3 Demons arc, right? Can we do that? They were like, sure. I think people would have been fine, bro. We would have been fine.
If you had given me 5 episodes and you had to do an adaptation, I think Rando should have been Yusuke's final opponent for this season.
Yeah, you didn't have to.
I think Rando's a good stopping point.
You didn't have to do this extra shit where it's like, well, we gotta do the most iconic art. But why is it iconic? Because the way it's iconic for the fans when you watch YuYu Hakusho is not going to be conveyed in live action because you're missing all the build-up, all the character moments, all the proper setup. The reason why Toguro versus Yusuke is a hard-ass fight is because of the 60-something episodes that came before it. We had over 60 episodes come before that fight.
And Toguro showed up in arc before that.
Toguro was proven to be a threat to begin with. Whereas here it's like, well, I just met you, and I guess you have my girl, so fuck you gotta get your ass whooped. In
the anime, Toguro was so powerful. Yusuke's like, bro, we can't beat him how we are. We're not gonna be able to do it.
This is it. It felt like
he had legitimate fear of Toguro.
It felt like we had a bunch of compromises for the sake of getting where we needed to be. It's like, we need to get to Toguro and Yusuke fighting for the end of the episode. Bitch, this is 5 minutes. This is like 5 episodes. Maybe cut out like all of this. Bro, but this setup is what leads to that art. Nah, we don't need it. We just need Toguro and Yusuke to fight at the end of the season. Are we even trying to do a season 2? Yeah, we're gonna do season 2. Bitch, how? What? Like, especially when you realize that later arcs reference things that the live action never touches.
And there's only 2 real arcs after Dark Tournament anyway. It's I believe it's Shinsui's arc and then
Chapter Black. Chapter Black
and the Demon King and the Demon King's arc.
Yeah, the Demon Kings. Like, really,
that arc was already bad, but
now the advantage with, and I mean, not that I really want. Here's the better question: do you want a second season?
I mean, they kind of got to now. It'd be kind of weird if they didn't.
Is it? You did the most iconic fight.
No, okay. Oh, I know. The biggest issue with Chapter Black is Yusuke's got to fight a spirit detective who was a spirit detective before he was. Dude, according to this, you've only been a spirit detective for like a few months. If we're looking at your timeline up to this point,
right?
Like shit, and then that means by the time we do the demon, the end of YuYu Hakusho, since Yusuke's part demon technically, like his body has demon blood in it, or his ancestor was a demon, he can't be a spirit detective anymore. He has to quit. He has to retire. That's gonna be awkward as fuck if you look at it through this. You gotta retire. Dude, you just became one. You were a spirit detective for all of what, 2 weeks?
Oh, that's right. Pooh is important to Chapter Black.
Yeah, he was important in Chapter Black. He got the others too where they needed to go.
Yeah. That's Lord.
Yeah, it's just I don't
It's the same problem I have with how they handle One Pieces, where it's like you showed certain characters, but you cut out other characters and characters who are going to show up later, and you're going to be like, wait a minute. One Piece, I think it bothered me more because I know One Piece loops characters back into the plot. So it's like, how are you planning to do certain arcs if you're going to skip certain characters?
Right.
But I had to remind myself, this isn't for me. None of this is for me. The One Piece wasn't for me. YuYu Hakusho, even Cowboy Bebop wasn't for me. These shows are not for the fans of those shows. These shows are for the fucking people who don't know anything. It's for the guy who gets on Netflix and starts flipping through shit. Oh, what's this YuYu Hakusho? Like, let me click that real quick. That's who this is for. And then the question you have to ask yourself at that point is this show good enough to make you want to watch the anime?
Yeah. Also, I've seen people wear Yu Yu Hakusho aesthetics, like sweaters and hoodies and stuff, and book bags. I've seen people with the aesthetic, but they knew nothing about the show. I'll be like, hey, nice Yu Yu Hakusho outfit. Oh, I just like the way it looked.
Yeah,
it's
the casual response.
So when I hear that, and now they go in and they go, oh, I know what this is because I have a backpack that looks like that or a hoodie, and they watch it. Conversations are gonna get awkward because they're gonna be like, oh, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm like, yeah, I love like the Rando arc. Who's Rando? What the fuck are you talking about? Who's Rando?
It's the same thing. Now, I think I told you before when I went on YouTube after the One Piece live action dropped, there were channels who only watched the live action who start watching the anime and go, oh yeah, this is way better than the live action. And part of me goes, it's good because there was no comparison.
Yeah.
But the other part of me goes, well, then it technically did its job, right? If the job of the live action, and I guess that's the biggest question, what is the job of the live action? If the live action's job is
the animated series.
If the live action's job is to make you go watch the anime, and it makes people go watch the anime, it technically did it what it's supposed to do. But I think what bothers me is I wish it could have been both. It could have been a good adaptation of the series and also been a go check out the anime. And my question is, as fans, how do we feel about that? Are you happy that more people are watching Yu Yu Hakusho now because of a mediocre live action adaptation?
Dill Pickle brought this up really well too. They did not market this well at all.
No, I think
this got like one trailer and I think a couple of pictures.
I don't understand why though. I guess because it's technically in Japanese, it's a little bit harder to sell.
Yeah,
One Piece was all in One Piece was all in English. This is like the equivalent of like the Bleach movie or the fucking JoJo movie, which are all Japanese films, or Japanese adaptations of their animes. It's kind of on that level. That's really what this is.
And and I've said this before, when it comes to live action, Japan knows what the fuck they're doing with their shit when they put it in live action. I think only a few of their live action things flopped. But Rurouni Kenshin was really good in live action.
Well, I mean, you couldn't fuck that up, honestly.
Death Note in live action in Japan is really good. Death Note, Another Note, that one's really good. Phoenix Wright's live action.
But see, all those make sense because they're all grounded in reality. The biggest struggle when it comes to doing anime into live action is adapting anime bullshit with money. And let's be real here, the goofier and the weirder your show is in terms of aesthetics or power systems and shit, the harder it is to adapt. All the shows you just mentioned, fucking Phoenix Wright is essentially a court case with a little bit of exaggeration to it.
With some anime.
Death Note is literally real life with the one big ass demon. Yeah. Those are easier. Everything you've mentioned are things that are easier.
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin is literally just samurai, which they've been doing samurai fucking shit since.
They've been doing samurai shit for since the 1900s.
Exactly. So none of that shit's like out of the realm of something they wouldn't normally do anyway. I guess my concern, and I guess as fans, and this is a question for everyone in chat, is this okay considering it didn't lead to people going to go watch the anime again? It led to new people checking out the anime. It was the same thing I had to acknowledge when it comes to One Piece. One Piece's live action I don't think is that good. But it was good enough for people to go check out the anime, which is what I wanted people to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this stupid ass roundabout way we gotta get to it. Oh, it's 112 episodes. I want to check out Yu Hakusho. Oh, but live action is only 5 episodes. That's pretty good. I guess I'll go check out the 112 episodes. What? What? Why is the live action gotta be the fucking middleman to get you to do the one thing you should have just done from the first place? Because technically you're watching more content. You're watching the 5 episodes plus the anime.
I'd say also it's probably because with Yu Yu Hakusho is an old anime, real old. It's real hard to get people to watch. I've noticed this just in general. It's really hard to get anime fans to watch old anime. Really. I'd never realized how hard it was.
But Yu Yu Hakusho isn't what I could consider old enough to be a part of that group, though.
Terrell, yes, it is. I've talked to anime fans like in this era, because we've talked about it on stream. We work in schools, right?
Yeah.
And I hear kids, and when I mention old animes, they don't know anything I'm talking about. They don't. When I mention Yu Yu Hakusho, if I mention Inuyasha, Inuyasha. When I mention what was it? If I mention Tenchi Muyo, they don't know what the fuck that is. They have no clue.
To be fair, they're never gonna know what Tenchi Muyo is. I'll be real with you.
Probably not.
Tenchi Muyo is a harem. That's not
unless they decide to bring in a live action. But
I mean, you could do that, but
yeah.
You just go ahead.
Let's put it this way, Terrell. Anything that's older than 15 years old, then you're not gonna get. The only time you're gonna get it is if you get a dedicated young fan that did some digging. So I would say a 15% chance, 10% if we're being realistic, 10% chance people will go, oh yeah, I know what that is. But kids today, Terrell, they don't know that at all.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm legitimately surprised they chose Yu Yu Hakusho to live action in this day and age. But that's probably because Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the easier ones to do it with.
That, I think it has the notoriety.
Right.
If anything, I welcome early 90s. I'm interested in them. Gives a different perspective in comparison to the new gen. The fact of the reality, since the 2020s, we've entered the reality of our shows turning 20 years old. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend at a con.
Whenever I talk to people about which animes they're watching, I get the same answers. I get Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer. What else? Yeah, I get Jujutsu Kaisen.
You probably get My Dress Up Darling or Attack on Titan.
My Dress Up Darling, Attack on Titans, Sword Art Online, like the same answers. I get the same answers every time. And then Dragon Ball Z will be in there, but it's usually Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Kai. They never say Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, actually, that's what Goki was saying in his comment. He doesn't even know if these people watch Dragon Ball. I'm curious how many modern Z fans.
Oh, I watch Dragon Ball, they'd be like, oh, I like Dragon Ball Super as well. No. Dragon Ball, as in no
Z's. No Z's or S's.
No Z's or S's. Dragon Ball, as when Goku was a kid. Some people would be like, oh, they made a show about Goku as a kid? Was it like a prequel or something? I was like, no. Fuck.
No, it was the original. The fuck?
It was Dragon Ball.
Technically, Z is the sequel series. The fuck?
Right. And a lot of people don't know that. And I'm going to be fair. I didn't know about Dragon Ball when I got into Z, but that's because I jumped into the middle of Z. I didn't know. My parents introduced me to Z. I was not introduced to Dragon Ball. So, yeah, I can see it. Hell, I think the most exposure we got to Dragon Ball was their live action at that point. And that, ugh.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I guess my concern, moving is that, like, what do we do when it comes to recommendations? Because the problem is I would say, like, your fan base and mine, we're anime fans. Most of the people who are in our chats and talking about this shit, you all watch these shows, the originals. You watch Inuyasha. You watch Yu Yu Hakusho. You watch fucking hell, some of you watch Ghost in the Shell, fucking Dot Hat Sign, Big O, all that shit used to come on Tsunami late at night. So you are the people this isn't for. Our group is not who this is for. That's what makes me mad about it. It's like, here's this cool adaptation of a show you grew up with as a child, but it's not for you. It's for the motherfucker who's sitting there sucking on a damn a Nezuko lollipop who doesn't know what the fuck it is. That's what this is for. So what you gotta do, I need you to move so that person can watch it. And I'm like, well, they're looking for recommendations. And why would I recommend something that is a poor representation of the property that I fuck with? That's what bothers me.
We need it, yeah. And we've obviously come to the reality that whether this was a good adaptation or not, they're never going to be as good as its source material.
No, agree. But it could be better.
And this isn't even me condescendingly saying like, it's just like when people go, the book was better than the movie. Yeah, obviously. But at the same time, we know that more people watch movies than read books in this day and age. Live actions are trying their hardest to be the source material. At least with movies, they take liberties. They take movie liberties. Live actions are sitting up here, you purposely going out of their way to be more like the source material. So when they underperform, it's because they're not the source material. And then people go, well, I liked the live action. And I'm like, now you got to look like the dick for saying, the anime is better. And I'm like, I'm not trying to look like the dicker. I'm saying legitimately the anime is longer. It focuses on more character development. It does all the things that the live action was trying to do, but didn't.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't even me trying to be condescending. This is me literally saying, y'all getting less content.
But it's frustrating because they'll still be like, you don't think it's a good adaptation? No. But as Tyrone said, it wasn't going to be. So it
never was.
So my question is, if you were recommending Yu Yu Hakusho to somebody, would you even acknowledge this thing's existence?
I would say watch it after. I would say watch the live action after you've watched the anime.
But it's going to be it's going to be even worse in that way.
True. But
I think the best experience you can have with this or One Piece or even Bebop is not watching the original. If you watch the original, this automatically gets worse.
But then that means people are deprived of a better content. That's the problem.
Well, the problem is that
you're literally getting them on the series the wrong way.
But to me, there's no point in watching this once you watch the anime.
Right.
Like, Tyrone, if I had told you you can watch this really watered down, cut down version of Yu Yu Hakusho, or you could just watch the anime, you chose the anime, and then asked me, should I watch the live action? No. I would have told you no. You know why? Because you've seen the best version of it.
Right. The expectations are higher, unfortunately.
It's like when people make movie versions of arcs. Like One Piece does that with Alabasta, turned it into a movie. And some people go, should I just watch the Alabasta movie? No, watch the arc. Should I watch the movie afterwards? No, because the arc's better.
Okay. Hold on, I'll stop you there. This is probably because Dragon Ball does this in reverse. The movies are better than the arcs. Battle of Gods movie is always better
okay.
Than
Dragon Ball is the exception. I would agree with that.
Yeah, they do it in reverse. So don't take that advice if you're watching Dragon Ball Super. Everything else, I completely agree with Terrell on. But Dragon Ball Super, don't do that.
So Sitter goes, recommend the live actions to people who don't have time to watch 100 episodes. But then they just have here's the problem. When people say they don't have the time, or they feel intimidated by these things, right? Mm-hmm. What they want to do is watch the live action to get into the conversation with fans. But no fan is going to take you seriously if you start talking about the live action and we're like, well, we're talking about, what about all the cool stuff with Pooh and Rando and all these other characters you don't fucking know about? And they're
I would have much rather them go the Dragon Ball Kai route and made an animated Yu Yu Hakusho series that's a modern style with shorter episodes. I would have rather they do that.
I would have rather they just not go as far as they went for the fucking live action. If you had stopped like around Genkai's like little tournament thing,
like I said, Rando
you would have been fine.
And then the next arc would have been the Yukina retrieval arc, and then the next season would have been Dark Tournament. I would have been fine with that.
The thing is,
and then make Dark Tournament 10 episodes instead of 5.
The thing is, if you watch the live action first and then watch the anime and manga, they'll have to do this false images of what they're getting into. Well, that's true, but that's what happened with One Piece. There are people online right now. The One Piece were like, bro, I want to go. I watched the live action. I loved it. I'm gonna go watch the anime. And they
You know
start the
what?
anime, and they're like, why is this? Why does the live action even do this? And I'm like, because. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Complete it.
I was just gonna say, why even watch the live? Why do people just watch the anime? That's what I'm telling you. It's almost like people need to watch new content to get them to watch old content. That's what it feels like. It feels like, Tyrone, I want you to check out fucking Death Note. But you won't just watch Death Note because it's 26 episodes. So I'm going to give you a movie, and you're going to be like, that movie was pretty cool. Now will you check out the old series? Sure. What the fuck? Why do I have to show you a new iteration of it to get you to watch the original? That's what it feels like. And it's the same thing with YuYu Hakusho. I gotta get you to watch the live action to get you kind of interested to watch the anime that's 112 episodes. What the fuck?
And you want to know what? Because I made that comparison to the book/movie thing, where the book is so much better than the movie. I made that comparison, and that's commonly used in like things like Harry Potter or the Hunger Games or something. But at least if you watch the movie, you're getting things. You're adding things. You're getting an imagery of what the spells look like now. You're getting music. You're getting visual representation. They're adding to the experience. That's all they can do is add. What is the live action adding that the anime can't?
Nothing. What?
Like your rendition fails if it's not adding. At least in that example, like you can make the debate with manga and anime. Some people like the manga and stuff. Some people like the animated stuff. But at least with the anime is doing pretty much the exact same things the manga's doing, just adding music and color and fucking openings and endings and having movement into their fight scene.
Right.
It's adding something. Whether you like it or not, you gotta admit there's some additions. What addition are we getting here? In fact, they're taking things away. It's like saying, the book was better than the movie, and you find out the book is only a couple of pages long while the movie is an hour and 30-something minutes. Like it doesn't work in reverse.
No. It doesn't.
This is taking stuff away. It's cutting down episodes. We're losing out on characters. We're getting misrepresentation of characters. We got characters that can't do as many emotes as they normally do because they're human fucking beings versus animated characters. If Keiko hits Yusuke in the head, he's not going to make a derpy face about it. He's going to just hold his head and rub his head a little bit because Keiko hit him in the head. We're not going to get bloody noses that get instantly healed. We're not going to get Cool Bard getting broken teeth only for them to heal back in the next scene. We're not getting any of that because it's not a fucking anime. It's a live action.
Which then makes you go, why even make a live action in the first place?
Because they want... I've heard about this somewhere where people don't like the art style of anime. They don't like the way anime looks. So this is a way for people to watch the anime without watching the anime.
But it goes back to my original point. It feels like I gotta go through extra steps to get you to do the same thing a normal person would just do. If I said, here's a cool thing about YuYu Hakusho you should be interested in. Cool, I like necromancy and demons and shit. I don't mind checking out a short story about that. But because of you being a casual and you not having enough drive to just be into it, I have to show you a brand new iteration of that thing that's short, that makes you a little bit interested enough to go check out the original old iteration of that thing. And I'm just like, if I gotta do all this shit, you don't need to fucking watch it low key. That's how I feel about it at a certain point.
And infighting happens between communities that watch the anime. What the fuck do you think is going to happen when somebody watches the live action or something and talks to the YuYu Hakusho community about YuYu Hakusho? I mean, granted, the YuYu Hakusho community isn't known to have that much infighting, but that's because that community existed in an old era. My point is, we get people that argue about anime now who are in the same fucking community. Imagine going into the community going, I'm a big YuYu Hakusho fan. Oh, okay, cool. What's some things you like? Oh, I liked when Toguro carried the entire Dark Tournament on his back. What's the Dark Tournament? The fuck do you mean what the Dark Tournament is? You didn't even watch the show. I did watch the show. I watched the live action one. Oh, then you a filthy casual fucking... that's a fight already. You've already made a fight. That is a made fight.
But that's the cold reality we have to acknowledge.
And all it's because people go, I don't like anime's art style. I don't like the way it looks. So then you watch what? This bootleg, like not all the way version of something?
Yes.
But if you become a fan of that thing, then you like fucking anime. Guess what? You like anime. You like anime. You just didn't like the way it looked. Hell, if you watch K-drama, then you like fucking anime. K-drama is slice of life anime. It's just in Korean. Like, it's the same fucking shit. It's the same shit. The exact same shit. You can't tell me it's not.
This is unfortunately the reality when your shit goes from being niche and nobody fucking knows about it when you were in high school and only had a handful of friends who were like, yeah, I watched that Naruto shit. Yeah, I watched that Dragon Ball shit. Yeah, I watched that Tenchi Muyo shit. To now, where it's so mainstream because of TikTok and YouTube and just the popularization of foreign media in general. So now every little fucking casual who has a goddamn Nezuko sticker or a goddamn One Piece GIF on their goddamn computer is considered, oh, I'm a fan. Like, no, you aren't. You're a filthy casual who ain't got shit else to do. Because a fan knows about the intricacies. They know about they know about openings and endings. They know about the seasonal shit. The problem is that we have gotten to the point now where we are appealing to a mass market. And as fans of this shit, fans of a generation who got bullied for liking this shit, it's going to irk us every fucking time you see an adaptation that shittily represents the show that you grew up watching and helped define you as a person. People don't understand. People got beat up for this shit. Yeah. Imagine getting your ass whooped because you like Naruto or One Piece or Bleach or Big O or Ghost in the Shell or fucking Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo, and then see this casual be like, well, this is pretty cool. It has a dumbass backpack of Yusuke's face stretched out on a shitty looking knapsack. And you're just like, fuck you. You piece of shit. But see, that's
the very same things that were drawn on notebooks as kids and like people.
And people grabbed them and threw them bitches in the trash.
Right.
What you drawing that goofy shit for? And now this the same jackass's child is running around with the same stuff.
You still watch cartoons or whatever.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I think that's what bothers me, and I recognize it's an age thing. Because
and this finds it especially frustrating in the sexual marketplace too, where they're like, I see all these girls post, "Where's my anime bae at? Where's my anime husband at?"
And they don't
care.
Like
basically somebody to sit down and watch anime with, and or they'll be like, "I wish I could have a night like this," and it shows like the big screen TV and like the bed and stuff, and then it shows like an anime on the thing. And I'm like, the guys that watch this stuff and have been watching this stuff since the 90s and 2000s were the guys you wouldn't give the time of day to. So let's not sit up here and act like all of a sudden now you're interested in this particular like lifestyle. You weren't. You never were.
We can't go around telling people there aren't fans. We crawled to the next generation. We crawled so the next generation can run. I see what your point. Studio, I get your point on that. The reality was that the reason why some of us even got online, the reason why there were anime YouTubers in the first place is to sit there because you liked the medium so much and you didn't have anyone else to share that love with. Because nobody in your hometown or nobody in your school gave a fuck, or not enough people gave a fuck. So you wanted these shows to be popular. We wanted people to recognize the greatness of like Gurren Lagann or Full Metal Alchemist or Death Note or Code Geass. We wanted people to see that shit and be like, this shit is cool, we fuck with it. The problem is now that we're here, it feels like we're still like bullshitting with these properties. Like One Piece I want y'all to understand something. One Piece has been in the States since 2004 and didn't get a damn balloon until last year. Last year was the first time Luffy ever got a balloon in the goddamn parade and the hat got popped. That's besides the point. As a fan of that series, I was very happy to see it be represented. And then I had to turn around and look and go, look at all these fake ass casuals who watched the live action and was like, I can't wait to see Garp in the anime, knowing that fucker didn't show up for damn years of content. But that's my trade-off. I get to see fucking YuYu Hakusho get represented again in 2023, right? Motherfuckers didn't think YuYu Hakusho was gonna get this representation all of a sudden in 2023. And Yu Yu Hakusho fans are like, yeah, Yusuke's the shit. He's about to show you what a main character looks like. Mediocre adaptation, motherfucker. What?
Again, I really want to stress this. It sucks too because the people that are doing these, they're not at fault at all. They're just doing a job, and who realistically would turn down the opportunity to be their childhood? The people that are doing these roles are the fans of the true anime. They love the source material. I think I saw Luffy's actor reading the manga while they were recording the set. Like, they love this shit.
Right.
But unfortunately, they're trapped in a situation where they know they have limits, extreme limits, and they know they have to do pretty much a half-assed representation of something. Because, like, even now with One Piece's situation, I think One Piece's situation, since the anime's still going, they're trying to bring, like, newer shit into the older shit.
That's my concern for the reanimation.
To make it relevant. To make it, yeah.
That's my concern for the new anime they're gonna do. Is that they're gonna just I almost argue that's kind of what they do for older arcs in general. Where they take like things that are already prevalent in new arcs and then just kind of juice up the old content to be on par with that. And I'm just in the back like the reason why I like the old shit was because of that, because things were low scale. We like increasing scale, not fucking everything being a Dragon Ball Z fight. No disrespect to Dragon Ball, but my point is I don't want everything to be that.
Yeah, I got what you meant.
Also, I'll give you points for that, Studio. Monkey deflated. That's good.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
That's good. That's good. I'm not even mad at you with that one. But my point is just I recognize that at the end of the day, Yu Yu Hakusho live action is not a good representation of Yu Yu Hakusho as a whole. But it wasn't really for me anyway, so what the fuck am I even doing talking about it? That's what makes me mad about it. You made something for me that isn't for me.
I think Yu Yu Hakusho had the heart of the live action at the heart of the series. Unfortunately, it didn't have the soul.
The soul or the budget. It damn sure didn't have the budget.
Well, yeah, it didn't have the budget, regardless of how good those fights look. It didn't have the soul. Like, it had the heart in the sense that it definitely, like, even the little things, like when that guy's cell phone rings and you hear like the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, the first opening or the only opening is what I should say.
Yeah, like you hear that. There's like little moments where you get to see like small little cameos, and hell, they put more focus on some characters that I wish they did in the anime, like the boy that almost got ran over by the car.
Yeah, because they tie him back in with the Goki stuff.
Yes, yeah. Or keeping Genkai dead. I like that they kept Genkai dead because her death means more if you keep her dead.
But it doesn't matter here because it didn't have the backdrop that the anime had. Yeah. When she died in the anime and you had kept her dead, it would have been like, oh well, we had all that time with her. We had all that development. Yeah, here, she was introduced and killed in the same episode, which, as I've told you guys in the chat, that is a cardinal sin for me. If you introduce a character and kill them in the same arc, that is lazy fucking writing. It's lazy. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I got you. And when it comes down to it, watching this show, watching the live action was like watching a skeleton that has a heart in it but no meat on its bones. I think that's the best way I can really put this. It was like watching a skeleton that has a heart but no meat, no bones, no facial, like everything that makes them them. You just have the heart, which is good that you have the heart because it means that your cast and everybody else had a good time making this, and you guys legitimately wanted to show off Yu Yu Hakusho. But the problem is none of that's going to work if you don't have the structure. It's just like saying I want to build a building, and then you go, okay, well, where's the blueprints? I have a couple of things of bricks and wood. That's great. Where's the blueprints? If you don't have the blueprints, then we can't do shit.
We're halfway done. What? Halfway done with what? The structure?
Right. Show me the building. Show me the building right now.
What the fuck is this?
Right.
Where's the roof at? What? Like,
You made a building, but I'm not sure if it's going to be stable. Like, where's the blueprints?
Yeah, you're just
And
like, God damn it.
right, and that's exactly what this feels like. It feels like it feels like a weirdly, it's like a hollow shell. It's a good looking shell. It's a damn good shell. But if I look inside this thing, I'm finding nothing, aren't I? Like, there's no way I can feel for Hiei. I can barely feel for Kuwabara. Kurama, they tried their hardest with him at first and then just sort of rushed him. And then Yusuke, they had to put in the most work with him because he's the main character. But it's very obvious they cut corners. And like the problem, you can't cut corners with this type of shit. That's one of the reasons why, especially this era of anime, the 90s/80s era of anime is anime you can't cut corners with because their bread and butter was their characters. I think that whole era was based on characters. Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Sailor Moon Crystal as much as I like the regular one. Because that old Sailor Moon was there for me every Saturday morning with a new episode and characterizations for each and every one. Even filler I gotta remind you, filler episode is a term that we only really wound up using around the 2000s. We didn't really use it. We didn't really use I would say like 2000. I want to say after like 2005. We didn't really use filler that much. Before that, things were just episodes. They were just episodes because each episode added meat to the content. It didn't matter if it was important or not. But it made the characters who they are. Hell, you can argue that with Pokemon. If you cut down Pokemon to its only important episodes, that show would be nowhere near as funny as it is.
Exactly.
Same with Yu-Gi-Oh, same with Sailor Moon, same with Gundam, same with Tenchi Muyo, same with Inuyasha. You can't really You can't really fuck with character development and like interactions on those shows. If they were to make a live action Inuyasha right now, do you know what it would probably be? Inuyasha Kagome would meet in episode 1. You get backstory about them finding the Shikan jewels. And then by episode 2, Sango and Moroku will be on the same team along with Shippo. And then by episode 3, they'll fight Naraku, lose to him. By episode 4, they'll fight Naraku again and Shishomaru will show up. And then by episode 5, they would have killed Naraku by this point. Like, or to the very least, they probably would have introduced Kagura or something. Like, there would be so much, like, cut out. There would be so much, like, it almost felt like, for a while, some of the shows were episodic. Like, it was a new adventure every day. And then eventually when plot-related stuff did come, it caught our attention. Here, what they're trying to do is trim way too much fat and give us no substance, and it's hurting it severely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even if you take Toguro, I think you got to understand the reason Toguro was such an important milestone for Yusuke was because that was Yusuke's first real loss. He never lost up to that point. He had some hard ass fights, but he never got his ass kicked. Not really. If an enemy beat him, they beat him up, but he found a way to beat them. Toguro was his first loss. His official, like, oh, we got our asses kicked. This is it. He was I call it he was the Barry and Goosegoff of this moment.
Yeah. That's a Zatch Bell reference for those who don't know.
Yeah, Zatch Bell. Or in Dragon Ball's terms, the 17 and 18. The moment where the heroes have to lick their wounds and get the fuck back up and get in there. But we don't get that in this because Toguro shows up.
Yusuke and him don't interact enough.
Yeah, he shows up and gets beaten like in an instant. It happens all at once.
Yeah. Look, by the time he runs into Zaguro, they have their struggle back and forth, but like it wasn't one of those where Yusuke had to just sit there and take that loss. Like there's an important feeling that happens when a hero gets beaten and then has to sit there and think about it. When you have to sit there and think about it, that's a part of the process. When you rush the series, that doesn't happen. And here, he never like loses and then has to think about it. He just he essentially he wins the fight overall. He just struggles more than he ever had before.
think the worst part about that is there's live action movies that have done that process. Fucking Karate Kid does that.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. Rocky movies did that. So we already have the structure. I'm not sure how it just didn't get translated here. Because I think One Piece did do it with Arlong. I think Luffy does lose to Arlong.
No. The first time it officially happens, it's War to 7.
Oh, yeah.
When he loses when he meets Lucci, after the whole reveal happens, they technically get their shit rocked by Lucci in them. Now, as far as if you're talking about like something like how Yusuke lost, where they literally had to dwell on it, it's probably when he lost Ace. That's probably the closest you get to that. Where Luffy is literally just bummed the fuck out, depressed, beaten down, and everything. Like, that kind of loss is something it's like poetic. It's that whole coming off of a high and being like, I could beat anybody if I try hard enough. And being like, bro, I gotta try harder than what I've been trying. I mean, technically, if you want to give another example, when he lost to Aokiji. Aokiji was a dude he couldn't just run up and punch. He tried to swing on Aokiji. Aokiji froze him. And the only reason why he let that motherfucker slide was because, well, your grandpa did train me, so I can't. It's kind of a fuck for me to kill his grandson. And
Luffy, he backhanded all three of them.
And Luffy was just kind of like, fuck. What do I do against that? It became how do I handle shit? Because we can't just keep doing what we've been doing.
Right.
Like that. But see, those moments are increasingly, even when Naruto lost Sasuke at the Valley of the End. That next episode where he wakes up in the damn, back in the village, in the hospital, and he's like sitting there depressed because he made a promise to Sakura, and Sakura was like, Naruto. And then he's still trying to put on a brave face, being like, well, I'm going to get him next time.
Apex, I completely agree with you on that, by the way.
Hold on. Sorry, I was checking something else.
Yeah, he said as soon as Toguro showed his strength in that parking garage, Yusuke truly realized his weakness.
Yeah. Which is, to me, one of the hardest moments. Where it was literally just like, this is what I really like. And you're like, what? Like, imagine your shit rocked by a dude and he'd be like, I'm only using 10%. What do you mean you used it? And then he just shows you what it looks like when he's going like 100. And you're just like, fuck.
And it was horrific. And all those episodes, people got to understand, why is the Dark Tournament the longest arc? It's 60 fucking episodes. It's 60 episodes for a reason, though. Like, it has to be that long. Because by the time we get out of it, we're like, holy shit. Oh, that was a whole ordeal. They do not come out the same way they came in. When you look at them for the Team Urameshi and the way they came out of that arc, it's almost like they're completely different people.
Oh, actually, and Goki makes another good example, the Ichigo. So people forget, part of the reason why people fuck with Soul Society so much is Ichigo went through it. When you realize, especially when you realize how strong these captains were in later arcs, to fucking struggle against Renji of all people. He struggled against Renji like, what was it, twice?
I'm sorry, 40 episodes. Go ahead.
He struggled against Renji like twice. Finally beat Renji. He was like, yeah! I think at that point he'd also beaten Kenpachi at that point too. And then he's like, I'm about to go save Rukia. I'm fucking cloud 9. Didn't realize, oh, shit. Is that Byakuya? And he's like, man, fuck it. I just beat your vice captain. You ain't shit, boy. Switches over, trying to do his flash step. And he's thinking he's stunting on him. Then he gets saved by Yororichi and goes, wait a minute, hold up. What the hell did he just do? Oh, that was his Shikai. His what? His Shikai. What about a Bangai? What the fuck's a Bangai? Like, and Ichigo was like, bro, it goes even higher than that? Yes. Renji's not even a weak dude, but Renji, like, compared to Byakuya was on a whole other level. That moment of realizing you were there's a difference between gritting shit out and pulling up an upset. But imagine just being faced with something that is so overwhelmingly powerful, you literally have no response. It's literally just like, huh? Like, huh, and your body just slumps. You're just like, oh shit. Actually, when he fought Aizen did that shit. When Aizen in the art, fucking he swung that man's sword. He was, I'm about to beat you. He was in Bankai and everything. I'm about to beat your whoop. Stop that motherfucker with one finger. That's a moment. You just stopped me. I can cut down mountains and you stop me with a finger. You don't get that kind of disrespect in the live action because you don't get enough time. Because remember, in the next 10 minutes, I have to beat you for the series to end.
Yeah.
That's the buildup you're missing. But go ahead, sorry.
And it's really disappointing to see because it's like these live actions are trying to cash in on it. I've always found it funny. We have tons of short anime series, 12 episodes, hell 24 if you want to take it to its longest, but we have a bunch of 12 episode series. Why not adapt them? Is it because those are usually not as popular as these? Maybe. It seems to me like they're trying so hard to get in to cash in on those big things, but they earned those big titles for a reason. I find it funny. All the titles that they want to make big or they want to make into live actions, they're titles that have hundreds of episodes in. I'm like, you gotta earn it. That's right. Because I'm gonna be real. If you were to put YuYu Hakusho in this day and age right now, say erase all our brains about YuYu Hakusho right now. We all know nothing about YuYu Hakusho. It was never made. The guy wound up making Hunter x Hunter and just kept with that instead. Let's say you started making Yu Yu Hakusho right now, and you only made it about 12 episodes. That's its first season. How confident are you that Yu Yu Hakusho would last? How confident are you?
Not that confident. I'll be real with you.
Not that confident either. Exactly. It had to earn its status from the 90s when anime was scarce and like the West was barely getting any, and if they did, they got imports. It had to earn that status. It had to fight for that status. It earned it completely. Live action goes and looks at it and goes, that looks nice, and tries to condense it all to a watch-friendly like section. You don't get both. You don't get the luxury of having a short series that's also going to be big. You don't get that luxury because that's not going to work. Hell, half the reason why fans can talk to each other about Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho was because they spent damn near 10 years watching this shit. I feel like you'll never have any connection to a One Piece fan as close as you're going to have to somebody who watched 30 years of One Piece in my brain. Because y'all been through the same shit.
Yeah.
But bring it back to somebody who only's watched like, I don't know, just the live action. Not even just the live action. Maybe they watched and then stopped after Water 7. Are you going to have as much of a connection with them? Can you explain to them the feelings you had when what's his name? The dude that's like an android.
Frankie?
No. The one that the moment he touches them, they pop to a different dimension.
Oh, Kuma.
Yeah. Are you going to have like a substantial conversation with somebody about Kuma and they don't even know who that motherfucker is? You can't. You can't talk about Sayabodi and how Straw Hats got basically annihilated. Not really. I mean, you'll have a conversation with them about One Piece, but it'll feel very hollow. It'll be like, yeah, I know that. And that's what they're trying to do with these live actions. With these live actions, sadly, they're trying to bring in a community so hard and cash in. But who is this exactly for? And you said it before, Terrell, this isn't for me. But it can't be for the old odd fans.
It's not. It's for casual. It's for people who don't know anything about it.
No. Sorry. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. It can't be for new fans. How is it going to be for new fans? If you advertise and use Yu Yu Hakusho to somebody who has no idea what the anime is, then what the fuck is this exactly? What is it?
Just a short series.
It's something you said it before. It's if somebody was flipping through Netflix and they just didn't know what to watch and they played this shit on auto.
No, exactly. That's what.
Because who would this appeal to? It's like they're using the name and everything. YuYu Hakusho. So that means, hey, look, old people who used to watch this, look, we did it over again. But the moment you watch it, you're getting shortchanged. So it's not for them. But it can't be for the new people either, because new people don't know what the fuck this is. So who's your audience?
I don't know. Because even like hardcore fans are like, man, I really wanted a live action adaptation. Oh, what's that? You did 60 episodes of content in 5 episodes? Well, I'm out. What the fuck? Like,
they've live action Avatar: The Last Airbender twice.
Are they doing it again?
I'm saying they did it once with the movie that flopped, and they're doing the Netflix series.
Yeah.
They're on that now. They're doing it twice. They are trying so hard. And notice that they never do Legend of Korra. They didn't even do Legend of Korra. They did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Well, to be fair, Legend of Korra 1 is newer, and 2, Avatar is more iconic.
Well, right, that's my point. My point is, notice how they never went to that one. They went specifically towards Last Airbender twice because they know damn well that if they're gonna cash in on this, they're gonna cash in on that one. But that's because Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the largest, most popular Western animated series from like the 2000s. And it's like they're trying so hard to dig and use these products from back then, but sadly they know they're never gonna catch like the charm. They're never gonna catch the amount of weight or the episodes. Like, they're not gonna have the feeling. Like, they keep coming towards this, and sadly they're trying to recreate something that realistically you just can't recreate. How are you going to recreate the hundreds of episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho or the 1,000 episodes of One Piece? Y'all told me that One Piece's live action is only what was it? 10 episodes? 12? How many episodes was that first one? 10?
Yeah, it's 8.
It's 8. Now I know damn well there's so much iconic shit that happens in more than 8 episodes. If you go to the anime, what the fuck happens in episode 8 of One Piece? Let's find out.
Isn't that should be Buggy? Might be the beginning of Usopp's arc. Because the first 2 episodes of Axe and Morgan.
Literally, who will win? Showdown between the true powers of the Devil Fruit. So Luffy versus Buggy.
Okay, so it's the end of Buggy fight. Okay, I wasn't sure.
So that shit that happened in it, what was that, episode 2 of the live action? Episode 1?
No, it might have been episode 3. Because the first 2 episodes are like Axe and Morgan and shit. No, it's probably 2 or 3. It's either episode 2 or 3. I don't remember which, but I think it's 2. Oh, it's 2? Okay, yeah, it's 2. So they were already on Buggy shit in episode 2.
Yeah, Romance Dawn is episode 1. The Man in the Straw Hat, episode 2.
That's what they call that, but yeah, it's Buggy's episode.
Yeah, Buggy shows up. Yeah,
which I still don't like that interpretation of him, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and then Kuro shows up in episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and then the Baratier is in episode 5, leaving the Baratier as episode 6 as well, and then Arlong is 7 and 8.
Yeah. Which is kind of wild considering each of these arcs are like 7 or 8 episodes. Well, the latter arcs are like Usopp's, Baratier, and Arlong are all like 7 or 8 episodes apiece at least.
And people are making an argument with the live action episodes are an hour long as opposed to the anime, which is 30 minutes long.
That only bumps it up to like 16 episodes, and you're still and remember, and no one to put this in context. One Piece still skipped a lot of the Baratier anyway. That's why you didn't get Don Krieg, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
none of the Don Krieg stuff happened. They abridged how the Mihawk Zoro stuff happens. They do a lot of weird changes. And like I said, I didn't hate every change they did, but it was still the same fucking problem. If you're a fan of the show, why in the fuck was this the version you would watch? And what makes me mad though is...
But if you're not a fan of the show, why would you watch this?
Because the difference is One Piece has the notoriety where you're at least aware of the brand.
Well, I guess you can argue that with Yu Yu Hakusho too, but the problem is, then at that point, if you're a fan of the brand, watch the fucking source material.
Well, no, but it's too many episodes.
Then don't like this. Then don't like the brand. I don't know what the fuck to tell you anymore.
But that's the issue. But the thing that always confuses me is that One Piece gets praise. Its live action gets praise, while I think almost everyone objectively doesn't like the Yu Yu Hakusho one. So what was the difference?
Which is because if you tell me which live action is better, I would tell you the Yu Yu Hakusho one.
Yeah, I think objectively, the Yu Yu Hakusho one is a better adaptation.
So who are the majority that are saying this one's worse?
I think like if you go online, most people agree that this is worse. We want to know why I think that it is though.
Why?
Because more hardcore fans of Yu Yu Hakusho watch this versus I think less hardcore fans of One Piece watch the live action One Piece.
And you want to know why? Well, One Piece is still going on.
So it has a lot of casuals that just tried it for the fuck of it.
So even if you didn't watch this even if you didn't watch One Piece at its very beginning, somebody watched One Piece at like the middle or even weirdly the end.
Yeah.
Of One Piece. Like, well, not the end, but like
the later arcs.
I mean, hell, One Piece still comes on Toonami, I think, or some episodes came on Toonami.
Yeah.
I saw some episodes on Toonami. So, yeah, people are still somehow watching it. So, it's still active, I think, is the difference. Yu Yu Hakusho, the only way you're going to fuck with Yu Yu Hakusho is to go back. That's the only way. There is no current. The latest thing we got was, what?
The OVA? Yeah, the OVA.
Yeah. That's the last major thing we get. Which is the All or Nothing special.
Yeah. It was supposed to be 10 episodes in season 1. Hard, so that might be the case, but I can't judge it off of what it was supposed to be. I got to judge it off of what it is.
You got to judge it off what we got. Exactly.
What I got was a mediocre experience.
Yes.
A lot of people give it a lot of credit because of certain things it does, but the crazy thing is I think One Piece would have been fine if they had just stopped. That GARP shit was the worst thing about the whole series. The amount of GARP in the Kobe shit was ridiculous. On top of just changing and switching characters around. There is no Django in fucking there's no Django in the Kuro arc. There is no what is it? Who am I missing? There's no
Krieg and Baratier.
Well, I mean, he exists. He's just dead.
He got killed in an instant. It was bullshit.
Yeah. There's no Hachi because he was too hard to animate. Because he's a fucking octopus. You know, he's the one who shows up later in Sabaody. Like,
I saw the trailer for season 2 just recently. It's vague. They're making it vague as hell.
Wait, there's a trailer for season 2?
For One Piece? Yeah.
When the hell did that come out?
I'll give you the thing later. But here, I'm gonna pull it up just so that you can have it.
I didn't know they had a trailer for it already. Oh.
Yeah, I found it. First trailer, Netflix. It was 3 months ago, Terrell.
Why do I not remember any of this?
Yeah, and the trailer is significantly vague. It's very vague.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all. What? Hold on.
There you go. Smoker, his voice is not what I wanted it to be.
Where is it? Oh, I see you linked it to me. Let me see.
Yeah, Smoker's voice is kind of trash.
Is it Crocodile? What? I mean, granted, I knew that Alabasta would be the next arc you do. I just want to look at this real quick. Give me 1 second. It's only a minute. Give me a second. I'm not gonna play the audio. I just want to look at the clips. I just want to see what it looks like.
Well, while you're going through that, I'll talk with the audience. Yeah, my thing is, live action Vivi gotta know this matters to me. They didn't even show it. They didn't show any characters for real. It was vague. Anyway, my point being, I don't know. I feel like sadly, us reviewing it is the only reason we needed to watch it was for this content, was so that you guys can have this content And it's just like, we know full well, if you don't like something, then why would you go all the way to watch it and just to complain? It's not that. It's just, we watched it because obviously we're dedicated fans of those of Yu Yu Hakusho and One Piece respectfully. This is from our era. So we obviously are going to go in and see exactly how our era is being taken care of. And if you notice that when we watch these adaptations or we look at these things, we're trying to go and see, are these shows doing an accurate job of representation? Because you got to remember, a show isn't just coming out and if it's good, it's good, it's bad, it's bad. It is a representation of the very fandom or community that it is catering to. It is content. Yu Yu Hakusho hasn't gotten any content since 2018, and that was a 25th anniversary OVA. This is the newest amount of Yu Yu Hakusho content we've gotten. Yu Yu Hakusho hasn't gotten any new content for a while now. So when we watch these things, we're watching them on the premise of, okay, the audience is very clearly going to see this, and it's going to show itself to both new and old fans alike. Well, how is this going to affect the fandom that we're in? How is this going to affect the people that we talk to? How is this going to affect the interactions that we have? How is this going to affect what we have in front of us? Because these are the things that we talk about because we're interested in them. And that's what comes with sociability. Everybody's going to talk about shit they're interested in. That's the point of socializing. So when people go, you watch Dragon Ball, you watch One Piece, you watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I loved those shows back in the day. Back in the day, I was talking about the live action. Wait, what? Yeah, I was like, now you got weird disconnect with the community. It feels, some people will argue, oh, if you don't like the live action, then that means you don't support the actors, and that obviously means you're bigoted and blah 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 blah. Now you gotta look like the fucking enemy because you don't have anything against the people who put their heart and soul into the role of the live action. You just don't like what they're in. That's not their fault. That's not my fault. I just don't like this. I don't like this representation of the media that I like to watch. And again, this isn't a battle as old as time. This is the manga versus anime battle all over again. Or for some, the book versus the movie argument. This is an argument that has lasted since the tale of time. Aragon has never gotten a proper movie representation. People will tell you Aragon's books are a million times better. Lord of the Rings was better than its movie adaptation, but Lord of the Rings was still a good movie. At least they went through the effort of doing that. But at least in those discourses, you can see, oh, at least they made some good music or you can salvage something from those things. I can't salvage anything from this because even the things that I like that they did in the live action, I know the anime did that times 20. There's some very few things that the live action did better than the anime, but it's not enough for me to sit up there and be like, oh yeah, this is a proper representation of this media. No way. But Terrell, how we looking?
I don't want to. What the fuck was that?
Go ahead. I mean, I know we're talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, but your thoughts on that?
What is that? All I saw was a little bit of Smoker and a little bit of Crocodile. And I'm just like, oh, don't do this. I don't know how unless this is going to be a long season or you're going to skip a lot. You got to be skipping a lot, bro. What? I don't understand. There's one shot in there that has a bunch of water that I don't understand. I want to say that's getting into the Grand Line, but I'm not sure because the way it looks, it's so like you can tell the animate like they gotta polish up some animations. But I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
Well, they can't go all in on that because that would require budget.
Well, the fact that they just recently released that, I was like, it's coming out in 2025. Oh, God. Whatever. Well, I'll leave that one. I'm going to leave it alone until next year.
But anyway, like...
but as far as Yu Yu Hakusho is concerned...
You want to follow up on anything I said when I went on that tangent?
Stop making live action or shows if you're not going to put the full... I don't know what to say because it's... If the casuals are watching the show because of it, does it mean that it did its job? And technically it did. That doesn't make it a good adaptation, a good representation of the series. But it also feels like it feels like it's literally surviving off of our curiosity to see how they handle it. That's what it feels like. The lifeblood of the live action series is that you were curious enough to go look it up. And I'm like, what? That's our selling point for one of the best series in shonen manga history? Jeez, well, I heard it was pretty bad. I'm gonna go check it out. It's YuYu Hakusho. The fuck? Like, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Go watch the anime. Go watch the anime. Go watch the first 2 episodes of the anime. The fuck? You ain't gotta be in a rush to be up with everybody. I feel like that's what this has turned into. Well, I don't want to be not included. I want to be at the goddamn water cooler and talk about the newest stuff. No! The show is meant for your personal enjoyment. It's not meant for you to get online and have these conversation pieces. Is that probably nice? Sure. But no.
You want to know what the worst part is that back when we were getting these shows, when they were technically at their prime, nobody wanted to make a fucking live action of these. Not a single one. When YuYu Hakusho reached the Dark Tournament, how come nobody wanted to do a live action then? Why? What was holding it back?
Money and popularity.
That was when YuYu Hakusho was at its prime. Like Naruto, I mean, thank God Naruto has. I'm biting my words here because they're probably making fucking devils in the back and cranking this bitch up right now. Yeah, because all it takes is a fucking Boruto special, fucking live action Naruto's gonna show his ugly ass head. We're gonna see him. Point is, we didn't get a live action of that. No live action of Zatch Bell. And again, I found this funny because even in the anime, like even in animated stuff right now, Hitman Reborn. We'll talk about it. It's all right, Terrell. I know you don't really care for the show, but it's relevant. It's just now getting dubbed. Hitman Reborn came out years ago. Bitch came out in like 2008, and it's just now getting dubbed. Just now.
Well, it's a fan dub, by the way.
Yeah, but Veronica Taylor and Chris Sabat are in it.
Well, yeah, but it's a fan dub, and it's not even the whole.
It's not the whole thing.
It's like I think they did fan episodes, like episodes people said they wanted to be dubbed. It's a fan dub.
But the reason I'm talking about this now, though, is because everybody, when I saw that, everybody started posting all this Hitman Reborn stuff on the Twitter feed. It was like, oh, Hitman Reborn, and fucking Suna's my goat. And I'm like, you didn't give a fuck about Suna. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you fucking did. No, y'all didn't give a shit about Hitman Reborn. Hitman Reborn was only for a very small, select few. I have a friend, she loves Hitman Reborn. She bought some Hitman Reborn stuff, and I was like, yo, you bought the manga? She goes, yeah, the manga took forever to buy because nobody's selling it for real. It's so hard to find. I had to look and find volume 1 of Hitman Reborn. That bitch is way too expensive, and it's way too hard to find. Because nobody's fucking with it like that. But all of a sudden, now everybody decides, oh, this is relevant. So now everybody suddenly loves this shit. And it irritates my soul to see, like, people go and be like, oh, YuYu Hakusho, yeah, that was my shit. Like, since when? Since when? And then you got to look back and go, well, I did watch all of these things. And now when you're, like you said it before, when you're at the water cooler talking with people about these things, now you got to sit up there and be the one that's, because most people get mad at you for this now, for being the know-it-all of a community. Oh, you're just trying to be an annoying know-it-all. Like if somebody goes, when Yusuke used the spirit orb, I'll be like, Actually, it took Yusuke about 4 days to master the spirit orb. He was in a cave. Now you got to be the actually guy.
The actually.
The actually guy. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be the actually guy. That's what fucking happens in the fucking show.
But you end up becoming that because of it.
Right. But my accuracy, my knowledge accuracy has to be put under the bus simply because I watched the source material. Now I'm getting punished because I invested 20 something plus years in something.
And I want to make it clear, it's okay to be like new to shit, but like respect the ones who were there first. I don't really honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of annoyed.
No, yeah, absolutely. I am too. That's like, to me, it's so sad because they're doing this not even just in the East or the West. They're doing this with like everything. Disney movies have been going through this for a while too.
Oh yeah,
And now
absolutely.
you can make the argument with both of those, at least both of those are movies. You can just choose which movie you want to watch instead. But it doesn't matter because it's still showing, oh, you're trying to. It feels so obvious that studios are trying to capture the whimsy and the grace and the childhood of something. And rather than just increase the quality of the stuff that we got, they're going to go back and try to do it over again with half the work. And if you're trying to pull our childhood with half the work, you're going to get half the results. It's like, well, why? Well, why keep doing this? What's your gain here is my point.
Money? Yeah, it's
okay.
money.
Well, yeah, it is money, but like, even then, I don't know. My question would be, is it worth it?
Oh no. Well, no, you're say it's not worth it for the fans. I think it's worth it for them.
Like, I would rather they just make new content, make new animes. If it's that serious, just make new animes. Or better yet, if it has to be live action, make some live action and make some anime inspired live action stuff that's completely original. You can do that. But how would it be? Would it flop? Probably. This is easy. You got a script. You got an anime and a manga to look after. And just like, oh, cool. All we need to do is hit these bullet points and we can pretty much rake in our cash while doing half the effort. Yeah, temporarily until people stop and open their eyes and realize this is trash. Like, how long does that last? Like,
as long as there's a financial backing for it.
But I'm waiting for us to reach that era where we finally have realized this isn't worth it and the studios don't make money off of this shit anymore. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on that.
To be fair, our generation stuff has been remade and touched so much these last couple years. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. When it comes to our TV shows, our children's content, hell, some of our adult content, none of that, that's still all being rehashed because we had such a golden era of entertainment. We had all the shows. I'm not even talking about I'm talking like TV shows, sitcoms. All that shit is like stuff that we've had and that people like fuck with. And so the companies went and remade it. And now we're at that point where they're still going. Because there's still stuff they haven't touched yet. So either they got to run out of the well of stuff to remake and touch, or they got to start losing a lot of money on it. Because as much as I hate to acknowledge, there's a bunch of shit that made money, even though it's shitty rehashes of our old content.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Right. And like, we want to acknowledge like, this isn't new. They've done this before with old stuff. Like, because when I tell my parents and stuff about this, they be like, they've been doing that all the time. Scooby-Doo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they've been doing it all the time. It's not new that they've done it. I think the difference there was that when they did it for those, they were so sitcom-y and so like they were so sitcom-y and repetitive that making a live action of them was inoffensive. Scooby-Doo, you can make a live action movie of that, but it'd be fine because Scooby-Doo had a new adventure every day.
Right.
It was a new mystery every day. So if you live action it, the continuity doesn't get fucked with. It can't get fucked with. All you can do is either A, make a new mystery, or B, base it off of a mystery that already exists. Either way, you're getting a pretty decent product. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that one's a bit tricky, but for the most part, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a Saturday morning cartoon when it started. Yeah, you got memorable enemies like Bebop and Rocksteady and shit, but you can just put them into a movie and you've got them. The characters were simple enough to where they didn't require this large level of depth.
Right.
Here, you messing with our era now. Our era was continuous. It had shit going from point A to point B within a string of episodes. Like, for example, if they were to make a Sailor Moon, they're gonna fucking make a Sailor Moon movie too. I know it. I can feel it in my ball sack. They're gonna
Jesus
make it.
Christ.
I can. Ooh, the trailer shows up. I want us to clip this moment right here. They're gonna make that bitch.
You want to document it?
Yep. They're gonna make the fuck out of that bitch, and I'm gonna be so angry. Anyway, when they make it, how are they gonna do it? I know how they're gonna do it. It'll be a Netflix series, probably. And it'll be all the Sailor Scouts will probably be in one episode. It'll be in one episode. The Sailor Scouts will gather in episode 1. I'm calling it. Calling it right now. All them bitches will be together by episode 1. Even like the Crystal gathered them together by episode, 8, 10?
Yeah.
And then the old anime, the original anime, gathered them all together at I want to say it took 30 episodes. Shit. 20 or 30.
It took a bit.
It was 20. It was about 20.
Because they put filler in between them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so I would say 20 episodes. It was a healthy 20 episodes before the entire Sailor Scouts got together. At least the primary team. I'm talking Usagi, Sailor Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. The main 5. It took about 20 episodes for them to all be together. If they live action this and put it in Netflix, them bitches will be together by 1-2 episodes tops. I guarantee it. By about episode 2, they'll all be together.
They have to be.
They'll all be in the same school, first of all. I know they're gonna fuck.
And David's and it'll be bad.
Yeah, they're all gonna be in the same school. I can call that shit right now. You wanna know why? Because it'd be too inconvenient to put them in different schools.
No, agreed.
Yeah, you gotta remember, the bitch Venus wasn't even in school. She was a movie actor.
Yeah.
And Jupiter was from a different school. And Ray was a priest. Yeah, them bitches all gonna be in the same school. They're gonna go ahead and just cut that up all together, make that easier. Yeah. And it also depends on who does it. If America does it, it's gonna be bad. If Japan does it, it's gonna be bad, but at least it's gonna be watchable.
You just get exhausted with this shit.
Yeah. This at this point, we're just having to pick our poison.
I'm just gonna enjoy my series and just be done with it. Live action's gonna do what they're gonna do. The only thing I can do as a person who enjoys the original medium is promote and support the original medium. So when it comes to YuYu Hakusho, go get. Can you even buy the box set? You know what? Fuck this. Hold on, I'm about to go check.
You can.
Huh?
You can. I saw it one time. Give me a second. I gotta find it again.
I just want to see if it's easily available. Because all this talk about you should go check out YuYu Hakusho. Okay, bet. Let's see if YuYu Hakusho, the series, is available.
At least I thought I saw YuYu Hakusho.
Is that it? The 30.
The 30th anniversary box is $94.
Which is the limited edition version of it.
But what all comes in it?
That's the entire series. Looks like episodes 1 to 112.
It's a complete collection. That's not bad for $100.
Yeah.
The whole Yu Yu Hakusho series for $100? Does it come with a special? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I guess it's fine. It's
Not
on
bad.
technically it's on sale right now. It's normally 120.
Oh, and what's the artwork they're using from? The Dark Tournament Saga.
Yeah, because the old Yu Yu Hakusho things you can't buy anymore. The old Yu Yu Hakusho DVDs they used to have.
You can get one on eBay for $60.
Yeah, but who the fuck's trying to do that for just, what was it, like the first, fourth of the series?
No, it's episode 1 to 112.
Wait, oh really? I was talking about, like, remember they used to have the singles?
Oh, those?
There were like 20 some episodes a piece.
The one I'm seeing right now is literally, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, the point I'm making is support that. Support the original series, whether you stream it or watch it. Can you wait? I just realized something. Where can you watch the original Yu Yu Hakusho?
Crunchyroll?
Does Funimation still have the right? Well, can you hold on? Where can I watch this? Is it just no, that's the live action one.
Oh, there's a Blu-ray version. Is this the entire series though, or is this just some episodes?
Oh, is it on Crunchyroll? Let me see. It is on Crunchyroll, yes.
Oh, yeah, there's a Blu-ray version that's like $21. Oh, yeah. It's just Japanese though. It's not dubbed. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're gonna watch Yu Yu Hakusho, watch it on Crunchyroll and watch the original series in its entirety.
Yeah.
Don't do this goofy shit where you only watch like.
I mean, and here's what bugs me about this: people will sit up. These are the same people that when they watch Netflix, they binge like tons upon tons of shit at a time. They'll like, I binged the whole series on Netflix. Then what the fuck is the difference? Back then, the thing that held you back was shows would happen weekly. New episode of Yu Yu Hakusho would happen every Saturday or some shit. And then commercials. So we had to deal with worse than what you had to deal with. We had to go through commercials and weekly breaks. Here, you can literally you can tread through the bitch. Shit that took us years can take y'all like, 2-3 months? I've counted. If you watch every episode of One Piece and just kept going, if you watched about 10 episodes, not even 10 episodes, each episode's about 24 minutes long. If you skip like most of the endings, I guess. If you watch 10 episodes of One Piece every day, you'll be done with One Piece in less than a fucking you'll be done with One Piece in less than a year. We're like literally it would take you about 5 to 6 months, half a year. It would take half a year.
You only need to watch 2 episodes a week to be caught up, to eventually beat it down. And like I said, there's no rush for this shit.
Hey, but
it's entertainment. You're not fucking doing nothing crazy.
When people say, "Oh, there's too many episodes of One Piece," these are the same people who will binge an entire fucking Netflix series. I'm like, bro, Netflix series are worse because those episodes are like an hour long. One Piece is 24 minutes long. You can watch 3 episodes of One Piece in the time that it takes you to watch 1 episode of something you binge watched. I just did the math. If you watch 3 episodes, there's 1,100 episodes of One Piece currently, right?
Yeah.
There's 1,100 episodes. If you watch 3 episodes every day, it would literally take you 1 year. You'd be done in a year. 3 funky ass episodes.
Right.
And that included filler, by the way. So I don't know. When people make these arguments, oh, the live action is better because it's less time. As opposed to what? As opposed to what? The Netflix binge that you were doing any fucking way? I just applied that to Yu Yu Hakusho. It would take 37 days to if you watch 3 episodes every day. 37 days, a month and a week. So I don't want to hear this shit.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just when we look at these live actions, I think you told me that you had told me, Tyrone, we got to watch this live action because you were told that after episode 2, things just go downhill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what sucks the worst is that after that, you could clearly see there was all this effort put in. And then the moment that we went into episode 3, I could clearly see, like, I could see everything fall under. I saw everything fall under instantly. And that.
It's like watching a car accident that you could have avoided.
Absolutely. And it sucks. But I think we've beaten this horse to death, so
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty much all we got to say on this one. I know tomorrow I've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet post DLC, and then I'm gonna be doing some stuff with the fans on the Discord. So if you haven't already, make sure you join the Discord so that you can be in on those awesome shenanigans. And then Terrell will be joining me yet again on Sunday as we finish off Blue Dragon, because Blue Dragon's finale will be on Sunday. So Terrell, what you got going on?
Tomorrow is potentially the finale for Sakura Wars.
Yep, I will be there for that.
So that will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then obviously Sunday, you already know, Blue Dragon for Tyrone. And then, I don't know how many of you guys are off, but I'll be off for MLK. But I think I'm just doing Juices Loose like I normally do on Monday. So, yeah, I think that's generally it. What's up?
Yeah, if I'm up to it, I might do a morning stream. But
When?
I'm off on MLK Day too.
Oh, so you're doing it in the morning?
Like I might do something in the morning and like I might double stream it.
Oh, I see. I got you. But yeah, I think that's the general gist of what we're doing. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope YouTube doesn't demonetize me. Because they will do that nonsense. But thank you guys. But say what?
What are they going to demonetize you for?
YouTube gets weird about when they want to demonetize people. Sometimes it's for like a curse word. Sometimes it's for the N word. Sometimes it's just because it's the middle of the night and they ain't got nothing else to do. It just depends. But it is what it is. I appreciate you guys supporting the streams during this for that reason, because this is what happens when you go through the social media game. But I appreciate it anyway. Shut up, Goki. We're not doing that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the love and support. I appreciate Tyrone for the collab, essentially. Talk about this live action. Hopefully this year has some better adaptations of well-known properties. If not, then God's going to get his ass whooped by me when I die. Other than that, I think that's it. I will see you. You will see both of us tomorrow on prospective streams.
Sakura Wars and then Blue Dragon afterwards.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. This is indeed been your boy, the Insane Game Freak, and you weren't gonna say
Life's a win. Play the game.
No, I said the Insane Game Freak and
Tyrone TG3.
There we go. Life's a game. Play to win. And I will catch you guys later. Peace. Oh. But not One Piece, I guess Spirit Gun. Oh. Malady 5000, baby. Later days. Right.